Hey guys, it's Brad again from Probate Resource. So today we're going to talk about a topic that I talk about quite frequently, and that is investors. I say investors, we're going to use this in quotes, investors that leave you hanging. Typically, those investors are usually inexperienced new people. Maybe they took a course online last week, or they found something on TikTok or YouTube, and now they think they can go out and buy houses, and now they're messing with people's estates, and they're messing with, hundreds of thousands of dollars here. And Mike, at your firm, you guys have a reputation here in the Atlanta area of being an investor-friendly title agency, right? You guys work with a lot of investors. You do a lot of investor transactions. And the reason why is because Mike and Josh, who owns this firm, they're well experienced in dealing with the crazy, complicated title issues that we bring to his firm all the time. Typically, investors are dealing with some pretty complicated, hairy, crazy situations, and your average run-of-the-mill closing firm might not have the capacity or expertise to deal with some of these crazy situations. That's why I close all my stuff here in Georgia with this firm here. So Mike, let's talk about some of these newer and experienced investors that might come to you guys because they heard about you on the internet because somebody else referred. And you were just telling me about this earlier. What happens sometimes?
Well, I mean, as anyone who has done investing before knows that, usually you're purchasing a property and then you're either going to sign it or sell it to another party. Well, sometimes in those situations, that third party, that what's called an end buyer, for whatever reason, will back out of the deal. And then you're in a situation, well, I close in a week and now I no longer have an end buyer. And I'm still on the hook for purchasing this property. And so it can create a real headache for investors, because at that point they kind of have to scramble to figure out what they're going to do, especially if they're not in a position to maybe purchase the property on their own without the purchase of that end buyer on the back side. And so, we will always do what we can to save a deal. So if that means that we might have to get involved and contact an end buyer, to not pressure them, but to just maybe find out, maybe there was some misunderstanding. Maybe there was something about the deal that they just didn't fully get, and all they need is some more explanation. Or maybe they want to renegotiate an aspect of it that can be dealt with in the short term. So there are situations like that. But then also, as an investor, it's always good to try to keep a list of people that do what you do, because you would be surprised how small the community is and how often you could just pick up the phone and call up a friend or someone, a casual acquaintance, and say, hey, I had someone back out on me. Here's the deal. I think it's a good deal. Here's what the margins are. You might be interested in this. And so that you can keep that list of people through networking, through attending events, through communicating with others. You can often find someone you can pick up on the short term to come in to sort of help you out. Another good thing is to have a list of hard money lenders that might be able to lend you money in a short period of time to get you through a deal, because for whatever reason, maybe your financing fell through, maybe that end buyer backed out. And then this way, you can save your deals, not put you in a situation where you're losing money, because no one does this to lose money. Everyone's doing this to make a profit. And so I think situations like that and tactics like that can be very helpful.
And what Mike's referring to here is the process of what's called wholesaling in the industry. A lot of, if you're a home seller, you've probably never heard of wholesaling anymore, or never heard of wholesaling before. And wholesaling is not illegal at all, but a lot of people don't do it properly. And a lot of times the inexperienced ones, if a buyer backs out last minute, basically what they're doing is they're saying, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm going to buy your house. They make you an offer to buy your house, let's say for $100,000, or I'm just picking a number right here. So they say, I'm going to buy your house for $100,000. And then they're going to go out and find another buyer to either step in their shoes through an assignment, or they might do what's called a double closing, where they just do a back-to-back closing. If they do that, they might sell the property to this other guy for 110, and they make a quick $10,000. They're in and out. They don't actually, have to rehab this property or whatever. And there's nothing like inherently wrong or illegal with wholesaling, but a lot of people do it incorrectly. And I think it really comes down to ethics. And one of the things that I try to set myself apart as a company, what we do is we will always close on the property and always close on the deal. So Mike can attest to that. I've closed countless number of deals with your firm, and you know that I always will close on a transaction. I don't know, like, I think I can count. I think I've terminated probably 6 deals in the last, I've been doing this for probably 7 years now. I've terminated 6 deals, and they were in due diligence, right? I try, if at all possible, not to terminate a deal. And if I tell a seller I'm going to buy their house, I'm going to buy their house. Now, there's a lot of unscrupulous new people out there who maybe, if they can't find a buyer, they just sort of leave the seller hanging and they don't actually close on the transaction. And you as the seller all of a sudden get to the closing table and you show up here to sign your documents and nobody shows up and you're like, what's going on here? Now you're back to the drawing board. You got to go find another buyer. You got to go start this process all over again. You're a little bit embarrassed because you feel like you've been taken advantage of. It can create a whole situation. So if you're working with a company, you're working with an investor, you need to make sure you're working with an experienced investor, somebody who knows what they're doing. You can get on Google, you can check reviews, you can ask the closing attorney firm, how many, deals does this particular person close with you on a regular basis? That sort of thing, to get an idea of how experienced they are. And nowadays, if they don't have a website and they don't have some sort of online validation for you to check and see who they are, you're probably not working with the right guy. It's so easy to create a website now and so easy to get some, some vetting of you as a company out there and get some reviews. And so make sure you're working with a reputable company when you're doing that. So thanks again for checking out this video. I kind of hash this topic out a lot because it happens a lot. And I think it's important for a home seller to recognize that there are good investors and bad investors in this industry. And that, sometimes the bad investors will leave you hanging, and I don't want that to happen to you. So if you're interested in working with our company, we do specialize in probate and inheritance properties. We've been doing that for a number of years. Buy properties for cash. Or if you're interested in maybe getting top dollar out of your property, you want to go the traditional route, you want to list that property with an agent. I've actually got a hand-picked network of real estate agents all across the country that I work with that are probate and inheritance specialists. Be happy to refer you to one of those agents. So if you'd like to work with our company, just click on the link below, fill out the form there on our website, or you can pick up the phone and call the number there on our website. A member of our team would be happy to discuss your situation, figure out if we might be the right fit for you. So thanks again for checking out this video. Thanks again for your time, Mike. Appreciate it and have a nice day. Bye.